What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another conversation here on the Film the Hunt podcast. I am your host, Jorden Suzowitz, and we are on episode number 6. Now, just recently, Film the Hunt has released their newly updated online courses, and they're offering 2 different packages. One is the full access bundle, and the other is the economy bundle. And I've seen the ins and outs of each of these courses, and I can say either one that you pick, you're going to be satisfied with the amount of information that you're going to get out of them. And the really cool thing is you can access these courses right at your fingertips, whether it's on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. You can be in the field, sitting on your couch, or wherever you're at. You can gain any of this information at any time. Now, Tom Petrie and Nick Ventura are the founders of Film the Hunt, as well as host of the TV show Become One on the Sportsman's Channel. And they've done a fantastic job developing the Film the Hunt courses, helping people achieve their goal, whether it's making this a hobby or making this a full-time career. So make sure you head over to filmthehunt.com and check out these newly updated online courses. Now today, I sit down with the crew from Fourth Arrow, and we talk about how filming your hunts can benefit you from more than just a production standpoint. Then we also talk about how producing can be tough and how you can only control so much when filming your hunts. And then we also talk about what to do or what not to do when looking to become a part of a company's promotional team. Now, real quick, before we jump into today's conversation, I do want to give a big old shout out to Bedford Camera and Video, as they are hands down the go-to company for all of your production equipment. And if you're looking to save a few of those hard-earned dollars, make sure you use the Film the Hunt promotional code at checkout, because you'll save 5% on gear and accessories. Now let's jump into today's conversation with Rob and Joe from Fourth Arrow. Before we really get into dive into this conversation today, for anyone that is listening, just to start off real quick, Fourth Arrow and Final Rest and Winston are partners with Become One and Tom and Nick, correct?
Correct.
And you guys went on a recent bear hunt this last spring, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I've seen some footage of, Joe, and maybe you can chime in on this. Did you have a bear charge you?
we were going out to bait the set, and we had a couple of bears on the bait, and one was like walking toward us.
Really?
So we were, kind of on edge. And then we went in there and started baiting everything, and so I was filming Nick and Tom, and Nick's baiting. He's like,
yeah.
You're recording, Joe? And I if you look at the footage, he was up to something. I'm like, yeah, I'm rolling.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, bear.
Yeah, it is.
Well, and it's just like we were all on edge too. It's
yeah.
I had my back turned toward him. I'm like, oh, okay.
And you were basically, when he said that, you kind of like, screw this, I'm out of here.
We were surprised how fast he could run. And I kind of noticed everybody, if you're in trouble, don't bring Joe, because he's not going to step in front of it for you. He's going to be gone.
Yeah. It caught me off guard because, Tom and Nick shared the episode with me before it aired. And, you're watching, you're engaged, and I had no idea. So it totally caught me off guard. And then once I realized that it was you behind the camera, it was awesome to see. But this morning I'm sitting down here with Rob and Joe from Fourth Arrow. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing very good.
Excellent. I think we're day 17, day 18, because we're at the Great American Outdoor Show.
It feels like it. Between SHOT Show, ATA, a show in Michigan.
Yeah.
And this show,
now this show stacked on top. Yeah, the days are starting to run together. But it's good. It's all good. We're having a good time meeting a lot of people and get a chance to walk through our products.
Great. Yeah, so right off the bat, you mentioned products. What kind of product lines are you guys running?
Yeah, we really started with the Winsent, which is just a scent distribution. And while we were trying to do filming for that, for our own footage, for our own marketing, we just kind of came up with our own camera system that we wanted to use on our own trees, in our own backyard, on our own farm.
Yeah.
And one thing led to another, and there was this gentleman by the name of Grant Woods ran into us at a show, and we had our camera equipment with us, and he looked at it and said, you guys might want to try to sell that. I think you might be surprised that people would be interested in what we're doing. And, the big push was a shoulder system that's removable, and then that just kind of bloomed. Fourth Arrow just I mean, we were really rather shocked when we went to ATA with units and the response from the market. And then from that, we've kind of morphed this next year. We've taken some of the technology and some of the things we understand about recording a hunt, how you want to move a camera when you're in a tree or in a tree stand, and the flexibility you need and the packability. And we've kind of run it into what we call the Final Rest. And Final Rest is just a shooting system for crossbows and rifles. Yeah. And it's just, we want to make something that's packable and usable across a bunch of different hunting situations.
Yeah. And I feel like, I'm glad that you guys designed this and engineered these products, because there was a giant void, especially in the camera arm world. As when guys are producing and you have these big bulky camera arms that could not have the adjustability, you guys designed a great product and filled that void. And I know you guys have made different models and everything. Can you kind of talk about the first model versus what you guys kind of have now, kind of tweaking and everything?
Yeah, I mean, the very first model was pretty basic, aluminum tubed arm, welded together. We didn't really completely know what we were doing. Our biggest goal at the time was we had to start recording for each other, and that was the deal we had on the farm, that if you shot something, you couldn't shoot something else until you recorded for a couple other guys.
That's great.
Well, up to that point, most of us were kind of recording for ourselves, GoPro on our bows, stabilizer bars. The footage really wasn't that great. Well, when you started being the guy who had to crawl up that next 4 or 5 feet into the tree, and you're standing on what I always call the postage stamp, because the guy that has the camera usually has the worst stand.
Yep.
Well, that just made it really difficult to carry in some of the big bulky equipment. Yeah. And along with the camera, we didn't really know what we were doing that well. So what we really came up with, since we're on our own land, was a base system that you could actually put it into the tree early season. You don't have to make any noise. And you could also put it not only on the vertical part of the tree, the main base, but you could put it on limbs. And so we have a lot of our big oak trees that have multiple limbs. Yeah. So now... we always exaggerate, a 70-inch arm that has to reach all the way out to get beyond me. I don't need that. I can function with a 30-inch or 35-inch arm out on a limb in front of me, and then be able to do everything else that I wanted and balance it, run with it. And that kind of started it up. And then from there, we went into carbon, which was just a hoot when we walked into the show and you hand somebody, an arm that they're used to carrying and all that equipment. Yeah. And you hand them something out of a thin tubed carbon. Yeah. Then it just sells itself, and we just sat back and smiled. So
that's awesome. That's really cool. I know when I first saw it, I was super jacked up about the product, because I had only been filming for a couple of years prior with that big bulky stuff, and then when that came out, it's a lot lighter, and the functionality is great. So it's awesome that you guys have done that. The cool thing that you had mentioned is you guys film your hunts. So.
Most of us do. Ask Joe how well he did.
Well, he runs from the bears, we know.
I finally got that monkey off my back this last year.
Good for you, Joe.
The first year, he had a really nice camera equipment. Tell us what you did.
Yeah. So the first year, started working for Fourth Arrow, right? And I had all the equipment I needed. Yeah. But so opening day of rifle season, I got the nice spot behind our place at the farm to hunt. So it was supposed to be the great spot. So I was supposed to see all the deer, and I sat up there, didn't see a thing. Well, I was filming it and everything, and then evening hunt. My dad wanted to take out some of my other younger brothers. Okay. So you just take the camera equipment with you. Yeah. I'll go to this other spot that we never see any deer. So what do you know? I was sitting there. It was a beautiful, beautiful opening day of gun season. Yeah. Snow on the ground. And later in that evening, I had a nice 8-point walkout right behind me at 30 yards.
Oh wow!
It could have been phenomenal footage.
I didn't have my camera with me, but thankfully I was able to get the monkey off my back last year. I self-filmed a bear hunt and a whitetail hunt, so that was good to get done. So.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, because a lot of people self-film. In this. So for you guys to go out and self-film or film each other, what's going on. Yeah. And you're able to help your clientele and everyone. So, if anyone has a question, they can come up to you and
we've probably done it. We've probably done it wrong. Yep. We have those moments just like everybody else where a big buck is walking by and you got a choice. Either I get a really good shot on my camera or I shoot it. Deer, and it's really hard, especially self-filming. It can be really frustrating. You got to let animals go sometimes if you're really sold out to trying to get it on film. But the rush you get when you can pull it off and it all comes together is phenomenal. Let alone for us, it's been really interesting with our groups because guys will shoot something. The first thing we'll do is we'll wait, bring it back to the camp, throw it up on the big screen. And before we go looking for the animal, generally, we all have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's been like really, really helpful just for recovery's sake to have that footage to be able to go back and look at. So it's really helped us out. We've had a couple animals we've sat on. We've had a couple animals we found, even one this year. They found one of mine because of the footage. We realized that where I had thought the deer had went, once we went back and really looked at it on a big screen, you could see that he went a different direction, and all of a sudden everything fell together and we ended up finding the buck. But
awesome.
So the footage is pretty handy, not only just for a show, but it's kind of fun to have that memory.
Yeah. So I will ask, if you don't have the deer in frame, are you going to shoot?
Don't ask me that question. I broke all our rules this year. So I think I was the first guy. Yeah. Sometimes you make bad decisions in life because it's so quick.
Yeah.
And I couldn't save the hunt after I made a bad decision, but oh well.
Yeah.
So I played a Joe. But I had the camera.
Yeah, at least you had
I
the
had footage of
camera
him up
there.
until the shot, and then I had the choice. I was either the camera was going to make it between two limbs and record him. He was starting to walk away, or the bow was going to make it in that spot. Yep. So it's kind of for us, it's a humorous video, but it's never going to go anywhere other than just in our group because I have him coming in. I have him coming in with a couple bucks. It's kind of great footage. It's a super cold morning in November in Michigan. It's a beautiful woods.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a spot I never sit other than like rut is on. So it's one of our most productive stands. And all of a sudden he comes in, he turns, and he's walking away. And I have the only shot is either the bow's going to make it or the camera's going to make it. And you could hear the camera. You can see the camera get turned. It's facing the other direction. Also, you can hear my bow go off. And I was like, oh, yeah. I shouldn't have done that.
It's tough, and it's great. Even like at the Film the Hunt and Become One booth during the show, you get people to walk up and film their hunts, and it's really tough to make that decision because if you got a buck that you've been seeing all year, you got history with, or even if it's a buck you just saw for the first time, it's a one you want. It's really hard to make that decision.
Yeah, it's devastating sometimes, but it pays off when you get it. When you pull it all together and you've been that patient and you've held
rewarding.
It. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So a lot of people may not know you guys also produce Michigan Whitetail Pursuit and Wisconsin Whitetail Pursuit, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a Pennsylvania Whitetail
There was
Pursuit?
a Pennsylvania, but that's no longer part of our group.
Okay.
And then the most active one really is Michigan Whitetail Pursuit.
Awesome.
That's the one that gets a lot of hits, a lot of momentum. We have a great group of guys on the main team.
Awesome.
They just do a phenomenal job. So it's kind of fun to watch that thing blossom and take off and get a life of its own.
How many years have you guys been doing that?
We just finished year number 10.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a great milestone. So 10 years. What kind of bumps in the roads have you seen, over those last 10 years of, from a production standpoint?
Probably the worst one was probably 3 years ago. No one was killing a deer.
Really?
Yeah, we just had a really tough year, or the footage that they got was terrible. I mean, but this year was a banner year.
Fantastic.
This last year was fun.
Okay.
Everybody was shooting great bucks. Everybody was getting really good footage of it.
Yeah.
So this year it paid off. It was the banner year, the whole program, the show, everything. In fact, we had way too much.
Yeah, we were like, are we going to fit this all in and edit this all in time? And
Do you guys do one or two DVDs each season?
Yeah, we actually this year we usually only do one of late. There used to be a gun and a bow season, but we kind of compiled that all into one. Yeah, and you can kind of barely fit it all on a DVD. It's gotten so much now, but no, we actually released an on the road series.
Really?
This past year. So that was season 1 of MWP on the road. So
that's great.
A lot of us are hunting in other states, and it was really fun to just be able to throw that together in an on the road DVD and share our hunts from Kansas, Manitoba, Newfoundland.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So why still DVDs and not digital?
We're online. Everything.
Okay. Is it?
So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're on YouTube too. I mean, that's where we put a lot of our content.
Okay.
So we try to upload our episodes throughout the season. So we try to keep it semi-live.
Yeah.
It's a little delay in there. You get busy and you want to hunt, not edit hunts, but
hey,
we try to keep it at least somewhat semi-live.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can watch it on YouTube, but a lot of people, they've been following Michigan Whitetail Pursuit for a few years now. I mean, like we said, season 10.
Yeah.
So they want that next DVD to put on the shelf. So they can take that to their camp up in the UP and watch it. Just plug it in the DVD player, and they don't have to have internet access to watch it. So,
and that's cool about Michigan too. I mean, obviously Michigan's a huge traditional hunting state, and guys love that. I know for me, it's like when you go to hunting camp, you watch hunting videos, and to have that from a Michigan group is cool. And I'm glad that's still going strong for you guys.
Yeah, we were surprised. We tried to 2 years ago. We didn't release. We thought everybody had it. Come on, they're all doing it online, and we went to one of the local shows in Michigan, and we were inundated with,
where's my DVD?
Where's the DVD? What are you guys doing? We have 7. Where's number 8? And we know you guys are elite. And we're like, well, we didn't think anybody wanted to buy them anymore. Oh, we do. And so we put them out. I mean, you're not selling 1 million DVDs.
Right.
But, it's really kind of fun because you can see how it's resonated with the Michigan community. The guys who really loved to hunt in Michigan, didn't make a difference where you're at. Doesn't make a difference if you're in a saddle, if you're in a tree stand, or if you're in a redneck. And everybody's appreciating each other's hunts, and they'll watch it all. And Michigan's not known for their 170 class, but I guess that's generally not going to happen unless you're on somebody's ranch.
Yeah.
So it is just the pure side of going out and hunting and enjoying it. And most of it is bow hunting. That's probably the most popular ones that we have. So a lot of guys are archers, and so it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Joe, do you produce that?
So yeah, a lot of the episodes I edit myself, and we have some of the guys on the team, which is really helpful because you get in that busy glut of the season, you got a lot going on. So it's nice to be able to, kind of distribute, some of the editing to some of the other guys too. So yeah, that makes it really helpful to be able to rely on some other guys.
What program are you using to produce?
Yep, I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro.
Excellent.
So
okay.
Not everybody in our group is using that program, but I really love that program, and that's what Nick and Tom use with Film the Hunt, and it's nice to be able to use a lot of the programs with some other guys and like, how do you do this? Or to be able to share things with other people and be able to help with that. So,
have you attended any of the Film the Hunt schools?
Yeah, I attended the Film the Hunt course, their main field production course last year. So that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot.
Great, man.
And now I can run my camera in manual mode more confidently. So I really was helpful. Not just the camera side, but just really, how to tell the story of a hunt. I felt that was really helpful. Just how to lay it out, what type of shots to portray certain things, and so it was a lot of fun down there, and I learned a lot. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I was there, and it was cool to have you there, and it's fun when you're at these schools because and Rob, have you been to these schools yet?
No, I haven't been allowed to.
Well, we'd love to have you, but you see guys come in on day 1 and then on day 4, just the 9-day difference of getting it. But
I can barely turn my phone on. And Joe knows. I don't know how many times he's yelled at me. I suddenly, there's something really cool. I film it, and I film it holding my phone the wrong direction. And I bring it in. He goes, we can't use that. I'm like, Joe, look at it. Look at the sunrise. You're holding the phone wrong again. I can't even get my phone right. You really? I mean, it's on record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty bad.
Well, you guys have done some great stuff, so I wouldn't say you're bad. So moving over to, because you guys have like the Michigan Whitetail Pursuit, and I'm sure you guys have a Fourth Arrow Pro staff or a Winsent Pro staff. For anyone that's wanting to get into the industry and wanting to make that leap, what are some things that you guys are looking for at people that might be applying for these positions?
Talk to Joe.
Yeah.
He's the gatekeeper.
All right.
Yeah. So I handle all our staff positions. So really, I mean, we've had some fantastic guys over the years jump on the team, and really the biggest thing from my standpoint, since I manage all our social pages and a lot of our advertising, I love creative content. That's whether that's photos or videos, that and just being, having fun with it, sending over a video to us, sending over a photo. That's really helpful for us. We love to use stuff like that on our social pages, and I mean, we want to push out content, especially during the fall, to when people are out hunting, and I can't produce it all myself. So it's really nice to have those guys out there. And the other thing for those staffers, just we love the feedback on the products too. That's the other huge thing for us too. It's just like, how are you using it? What can we change? What can we make better? And that's always helpful too.
So that's great. If someone is wanting to approach you, what kind of tip would you give them?
Right. So, just kind of starting out, we have like our field staff.
Yep.
So
Okay.
they can just apply online for that, and we have a staff page, a Facebook group page that everybody can get on, and the more we see each other's names on there, the more we can connect. And in a lot of these guys at the shows, I'd be able to meet them, and it's really fun to be able to connect with them. So some of our guys started out at field staff, and now they're on our pro staff team, and they're killing it with content. And so for the guys that work hard, it's fun to be able to watch them progress, and we can go further together. So it's been fun.
That's awesome. Any situations you've come into or have experienced of like a bad situation, that someone might be able to learn from?
Right. I mean, the biggest thing, a lot of guys, when it comes to staff, they might expect too much over the front,
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in the work, the groundwork, you can't just expect to just go into the industry and, be the top guy all of a sudden. You got to put your work in. But we've had a lot of guys that have just been really helpful to us, and we like to be able to reward that. But
that's awesome. Yeah. So I guess for anyone listening, be patient. And that's what I think this whole industry is. You have to be patient, because nothing's going to happen overnight. And maybe if you have a giant checkbook and you want to buy yourself a TV show and pay for everything yourself, maybe that's how it'll happen overnight. But for the most part, just the grassroots, process, I think, is the best way to go about everything.
Yeah, and be really good at your profession. I mean, we had a couple guys do some really, wonderful shorts this last year, being really creative, even with our slider. I mean, a product that we're not even that focused on, but he had it. And we're all passing it around to each other in our office going, look at this guy, and guess what happened? And it was something really quite simple. It was crossing a stream. So,
really?
Something that all of us would go, yeah, that's a no-brainer, but look what he did. And that resonated with all of us. Really, really simple. And it wasn't a kill shot.
Yeah.
It was the fact that he took the time, thought about it, and put it together. And it probably didn't take him that long.
Right.
But he was just really creative, and he saw something different, and he put it together and fired it over. It wasn't even 10 seconds, right. I don't think.
Yeah. We had a short version. We were just using it as a social media ad. So
nice.
We can't run a kill shot in a social media ad. You got to be, and that's the hard part that's been with marketing Final Rest is you can't have a weapon in most of your stuff for anything on social media. And social media has been our big push, advertising wise. It's really easy to track your conversions, and so that's what we need a lot of our content for. And that's been really helpful to have different guys in different groups get their creative minds working and see what type of content they can produce and we can put to use and get some ads running. So
awesome. Talking about not being able to put weapons in social media, do you feel like you can get like crossbows?
I found that it's pretty picky. I mean, you can get away with things from time to time. But my strategy usually is if I'm going to show a weapon, it's got to be a really tight shot. So you can't do any wide shot. Even a bow just hanging up in the tree. They flag that. So you got to be really, really careful with the way you try to show it. And with Final Rest, I mean, that's the hard part. It's totally centered around the weapon. Holding the weapon steady and the range of motion you get with our system. And so you got to be pretty strategic with the way you approach that. But we usually can figure it out. You just got to be creative. So.
And that could be a tip too, right there, for anyone that's taking photos for you guys, especially with the Final Rest, is try and be as creative as possible, so that way they can utilize and you guys can essentially profit, because then that photo will be utilized really good. Excuse me. Anything new up and coming? Any hints? Any hints?
I don't know if we can talk about it yet. Okay. We have some stuff that we're having some fun with. I mean, we're getting pretty excited. It's the winter time of the year, of course.
Yeah.
We're in, season change. We're starting to look at what worked last year. And probably some of the big things we're working really hard on is trying to come up with the next generation that's a little bit more packable for the camera arm systems. So bases and shoulders, see if we can do something that's going to be a little bit smaller. We have a lot of guys out there talking about how far they got to carry it. Is there a way for me to transport from tree to tree easier?
Okay.
So we're working on that right now. And, Lord willing, we're going to have a good answer to that. Yeah, it makes us smile. We're having fun. There's some stuff we've been using,
That's great.
And it's worked out pretty well. But it's going to, like anything else, it's going to take a few hiccups, and we're going to have some things go out, and it's going to work, or, we need to tweak this and that. So we're trying to slow play it out. We're not in any rush. I think what we have sitting out there, we have a lot of guys are running our equipment. A lot of guys like what we're doing with our bases and shoulders, the levelability. And we want to really respect that. And we also, part of the hard thing for us for design and change, we also really want to respect the product that our customers have already have in the tree. So what we come up with next needs to be able to be somewhat connected to what they're doing. And so we don't hit I don't want to waste everybody's money. They put a lot into it, a lot of sweat equity to earn it, to buy it, and they trust us. And so let's try to, as well as we can do it, make sure that their arms are still good, or make sure that our system will function across a couple lines. So that's probably some of the design limitations, but it's also part of the fun.
Awesome. So that's really cool to hear that you guys are cautious about those kind of things instead of just coming out with new products every year and saying, well, hopefully they buy it. Don't really. Well, I appreciate you guys jumping on here this morning. I know the show is going to start here in a little while, but where can people find more information about your guys' company and products?
Yeah, you can find it on our websites. So you can if you go to fourtharrow.com, it's got links to all three of our websites. So we actually just yesterday launched our new site for Final Rest. So that's finalrestshootingsystems.com. And then fourtharrowcameraarms.com for our camera arms, and then winsent.com for our Winsent product line. So
excellent. And if someone wants to apply for a field staff position, can they find all that information on the website?
Yeah. So we're actually our staff position. We usually open it up in March again. Okay. So hopefully sometime in March we'll be pushing that all over social media. Yeah. So you'll see it on our Facebook, Instagram feeds. So be looking for that there. And we'd love to have some more guys join. We love it when guys can join the team, and be part of the family. So
that's awesome. And social media feeds, the same thing. Fourth Arrow.
Yep. So Fourth Arrow Camera Arms on Facebook, fourth.arrow on Instagram, Winsent.official, on Instagram for Winsent, and so you can find them. Pretty easy to find on social media for all three brands too. So excellent.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna go and tackle like day 19 or 18, whatever it is.
I know. Take a deep breath.
Absolutely.
It's that 30 days that you like living, but you also know it's 30 days of wow. All right. Go home and say hi to my wife tonight, I hope.
Yep. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to another conversation here on the Film the Hunt podcast. I appreciate Rob and Joe sitting down with me. And if you enjoyed that conversation, make sure you head over to Apple iTunes and leave us a review and rating, as we would greatly appreciate it. And just to mention it again, Film the Hunt launched that brand new online school platform with a couple different bundles that you can choose from. And if you want to save 25% on one of those bundles, make sure you use the FTH podcast promo code at checkout, and you can save 25%. Another cool thing that we're doing with Film the Hunt over the next 3 weeks is we're going to be going live on Instagram on the Film the Hunt page, and we're going to be talking about some of the cool experiences we've had, and we're also going to talk about some of the tricks we've learned over the years, and we're going to answer questions for anyone that joins us on that live session. So you're going to want to make sure you tune in Monday evenings at 8 p.m. on the Film the Hunt Instagram page. And I know I also say this a lot, but really can't thank Bedford Camera and Video enough for the support of this podcast. This company truly is a rockstar company. So the next time that you're in the market for some camera gear or accessories, make sure you head over to bedfords.com and use the Film the Hunt promo code, and you'll be able to save some of those hard-earned dollars as well. But if you are a person that is on the fence about some camera gear or has some questions, make sure you give Luke or Austin a call at Bedfords, and they'll be able to get you fixed up with something that fits your budget. And again, thanks for downloading the Film the Hunt podcast. Until next time, everyone, cheers.